Ashley here from Ascension NXT, and I have Tori here from Avalon Enchanted.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about Ascension Table Tipping and some of the highlights that came through for, was it February we did this? The beginning?
Yes.
Okay, it was the first weekend of February.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it was very intense. And I feel like the table tippings are definitely getting more and more.
There's a lot more information coming through, and I feel like the messages are getting much more, I'm not going to say dire, but there's more information that they're giving us to work with for us to try and make adjustments on.
Right,
and to get that information out to people, I feel.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with that a lot. So the first thing that happened for Ascension Table Tipping was the Arcturians coming through. So have we had the Arcturians come through? I think we have.
I think we have, but not necessarily on the... I think we've had Z come through.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kind of just as a way of saying hi in the past when we were just starting to really anchor in the energy. But this time there were visitors who were Arcturian, multiple.
Yeah, there was a whole group of them. Yeah.
And the energy was definitely a huge shift in a positive way.
Right.
But it was a very high vibration that you definitely had to feel comfortable with in order to maintain your focus in there.
Right, yeah. It was getting a little intense. So it definitely affects our physical bodies when we're doing this work. But one of the things that the Arcturians mentioned, the first thing they mentioned was the food source, and that we need to really pay attention to, it's not, I feel like it's not so much what we eat, it's just more of the intention when we're eating. So they were talking about putting in the 676 hertz into our food when we go we go shopping. So it's like, even if you're eating vegetables, they're saying, they brought the message through that something is tampering with even the food that is good for us.
Yes. And I feel it's not just the food, I feel it's water as well.
Yeah,
everything needs to be cleared. If we treat our bodies as a temple, we need to make sure the fuel is temple appropriate. Right.
Yes. Yeah, so they were saying eat as much homegrown organic food as possible, but if you're going to go to the market, you definitely need to, if you're attuned to Reiki, you can Reiki your food. You can also blast 676 hertz on YouTube to clear it just while everything's in the shopping bags. It was a pretty weird message that they kept, pulling in. Because it didn't have to do with like what you were eating, it's the energy in the food and the energy that's going into the food. So God only knows what's happening.
I know we also talked a little bit about autoimmune issues. So I don't know if it was a way of trying to get back to basics for that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that did come up also.
Okay, I don't remember that coming up.
Yeah, it did come up.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And they need to incorporate purple crystals. A lot of amethyst.
Right.
I always jokingly call amethyst the Xanax stone.
Yeah.
Because it's so calming. It's very much something that helps calm people down. It's good for sobriety. It's good just to kind of help change the energy in a room. Matter of fact, I keep a big chunk next to my bed.
Yeah.
And very helpful.
So, like, I'm wondering too, now they keep showing me, like, crystals in the cabinet where you keep your food.
Interesting. Interesting.
So it kind of like holds on to that energy, or you can put the frequencies in the crystal and put it in the cabinet. It's something I keep seeing too.
Right. And if you throw in a citrine, it will always be charged.
Yeah, that's true. Cool.
Even if it's like a Ziploc, I'm thinking on the back side of the door.
Yeah.
That might be a way to do it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Our significant others are going to love that.
One-way trip to Butler.
All right, so that was the message from the Arcturians. Pay attention to your food and the energy that you're putting into it when you receive it. So the next one that came through was Mary Magdalene, of course. She loves to
She
make
was
her
very
grand
direct.
Yeah.
And I think that you've been channeling her energies in as you've been gearing up to work on some projects and some classes with her.
Yes.
So I feel she had that opportunity to come in and make her presence known.
Yes.
But she's definitely very direct, which is good.
Yeah.
Sometimes we kind of need that directness to slap us beside the head and be like, hey, this is how you need to do it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
But in a loving, caring
way.
way.
So, she brought in an interesting message about a king from Atlantis. That is, his energy is coming in to help bring peace around the world. Do you want to talk a little bit about this? Because I feel like you understood it a little better than I did.
Yeah. The king that was mentioned, first of all, we've been getting messages over the last few Ascension Table Tippings that Atlantis will be surfacing somewhere in the Pacific. And so it's kind of like a puzzle where we get a puzzle piece each time we do this.
Yep.
And we're starting to fit these puzzle pieces together. So with this king, that's going to be, has this energy, is basically going to be bringing in the energy of love and light. It's also going to be connecting with the Atlantis, but also connecting with the Arcturians as well. There's also the possibility of new species coming in, animal species, like cool. Something almost like the cross between a manatee and
a whale, was it?
Like a dolphin.
Yeah.
And think of it this way: whale songs; those are the hertz frequencies.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So
and dolphins too. Yeah.
Absolutely, with the sonar. You know, makes total sense. So there are going to be some new changes with sea life, is the feeling of what we got in the next 3 years. So there's definitely
another thing I want to talk about with that is animals, some species going extinct. The table mentioned that it's supposed to happen to bring in the new species.
Yeah.
So when you see some animals going extinct, and I'm not saying all animals, because obviously we do have a problem here with people not respecting nature. But some of them are supposed to be leaving the planet. So please keep that in mind. It's to bring in the new species.
And also, I know that just recently they just got a sighting. Did you see that news about the black leopard that was just sighted?
With the spots?
Yes. So that's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So many times it's kind of like when we have this destruction, we're clearing a path for something new.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I guess that happens in the animal kingdom too. I mean, I'm not trying to trivialize it.
Yeah.
But.
Yep.
So the king brought in these things to try and help. We need to listen to the vibration of these new animals. We need to listen to the vibration of these sea creatures. I really feel like everything, this primordial ooze is coming back, literally from the sea, and that's kind of where we need to take our cues from.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's going to be important. And we could help fix the present and the future by really kind of seeing where this goes and working with all of this energy. Pay attention to the sounds. Don't pay attention to sounds, and if they don't feel right, then just say, okay, that's not for me.
Yeah.
You know? So that's also important. And connecting with astral heritage.
Yes, the ancestor stuff too. So there was I think that king's energy is bringing in a lot of karmic clearing as well.
I agree.
Because after Atlantis, there was a lot of, it was kind of like the Dark Ages came in. Yeah.
It did.
Well, after, I don't know. Yeah, it was Atlantis, and then, I don't know. I feel like the Middle Ages is more the Dark Ages, but it kind of set up for the Dark Ages coming on the planet.
Right. Oh God. And we have all this mass destruction right now going on in the Pacific, that ring of fire, that's clearing this path for this new life, for these new opportunities to come through. So something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. And then Mother Mary came in and she shifted the energy, which she always does. She just comes in and kind of...
When things get a little serious, she kind of comes in and just kind of like, okay.
Yep.
I think Jess kind of calls it a boob hug.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so next, Commander Ashtar, my buddy.
Yeah. He was very direct.
Yeah, he was very intense. Very, very intense. I feel like some people that were there were kind of like, oh my God, is he talking to me? But I feel like it wasn't a direct message for anybody that was there, but it was a message for everyone, you know?
Let's take a step back, because when he came in, the table basically slid about 8 to 10 feet across the room.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So, kind of important.
Yeah.
So, we have had shifts with the table moving like that, but that one was very forceful. And I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Yeah.
He had a lot of energy and he had a message to get across.
Right.
He needed to make his point.
He definitely did.
Oh yeah.
And whenever you connect with Commander Ashtar, it's not a boob hug. It's like the total opposite. It's a very stern, like the dad in charge and here to make the rules and lay down the law. He is not here for any cuddling, or to make you feel comfortable. His energy actually makes a lot of people feel very uncomfortable. And I know that, you know, I've been connecting with Ashtar since the beginning. Like, since I first opened up, he was the first one that I saw. So I always tell people he is my boss, and that is, you know, how I feel. Like, you gotta listen to Ashtar. He's a Palladian. I feel like he's more than a Palladian, though. He's a commander-in-chief of the universe. He kind of polices things. He's in the Galactic Federation, but he's in charge. Like, he's one of the people, or beings, I should say, that is in charge and very respected. And when he came through, he channeled the message clearly and very loud through me. So
you were on fire.
Yeah,
you were on fire.
I need to definitely connect with his energy more. So I'm just gonna go over some of the things that he was saying here. He was basically talking to the people that are doing this work here, like the spiritual work, the spiritual community, saying that this is not a game, and we really need to understand what we are allowing within our physical bodies. So there's a lot of people channeling stuff out there, but they have no idea what they're channeling, no idea what they're allowing in their bodies.
That can be such a recipe for disaster.
That's what he was saying. He was basically saying, if you are doing this work, you need to be very careful in what you're channeling and what you're allowing in your body, because it can have not only it'll cause exterior issues in your life, but it'll also cause a lot of physical ailments in your body. And now is the time to really keep your channel clear and make sure that you're working in a safe manner, and not just channeling into an energy because your friend is channeling into something. He was like, that is not what should be going on. And he says anybody that's in a position where they're teaching or in a leadership position, they need to be careful who they're channeling into, because you're guiding others. So there's a lot of people that just aren't careful in this field, and they need to really take a look at the way that they do their practice and the way that they're guiding others, because it can get...
There's a lot at stake.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
And it can hurt not only the practitioner, but the people who are learning.
Yes, yes.
It was kind of like 2.0... stay in your lane.
Yeah, so he kind of
with very strict instructions.
He elaborated more on the whole stay in your lane thing, like Melchizedek. Also, he was saying too, like, don't go and do something because somebody else is doing it. And this is strictly for, I feel like, the spiritual community. I'm not talking about, like, you know, if you're going to go sell cars or something like that and be competitive and salesy, that's a totally different thing. But if you're watching this and, you know, you consider yourself a spiritual teacher or a healer, you need to pay attention to this message. You don't go and do something because your neighbor or somebody that you know is really successful at it. Like, I'm not gonna go out and do table tipping because I don't feel connected to it. The only time that I feel connected to doing table tipping is when me and Tori do Ascension Table Tipping. But you will not see Ashley ever buy a table and do table tipping at the shop. That is not what I am here to do. That's what Tori's here to do.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I know that.
But I'm also not going to go messing around with Commander Ashtar or Palladian, because that's not my
because you don't feel connected
that's
to
not
it.
My
yes.
lane.
So when you do something in this field, it has to do because what Ashtar was saying is because it's in your heart. Your heart is pulling you towards it.
It's in your heritage.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what Jess
lineage.
was saying. It's in your heritage, it's in your lineage. Which I'm kind of like, I agree with that, but I'm kind of all over the place too with a lot of different things that I do.
I am too.
But I do agree with that. Yeah, it just has to be heart-centered. It has to be something that you really feel within your heart, like, I need to learn this and do this. Now, if you learn something and you're like, you know what, I'm not really feeling it right now. Like, I teach a lot of Reiki and IET, and there's a lot of people that are like, you know, I don't feel connected to it at the moment. And that's fine. That's where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be forcing yourself to do it. So it's not forcing yourself to do something because that other person that you're seeing is very successful in it, or they have a lot of students, or they're doing very well with their teaching and things like that. You have to go towards what is in here. So you have to be real, and the main message about this is you have to be careful about your intentions with this work. Are you doing it because you love it and you're passionate about it, or are you doing it because you want to compete with the person that you see that's doing it? And he said there is no time for that. He's just like, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy. And he's like, if you keep going down that road, it's not going to be good for you energetically. And again, that energy can take a physical toll on you as well.
Absolutely.
So yes, and it's, you know, that I think was pretty much it with Commander Ashtar, was with the stay in your own lane thing. It's for your own safety. And it's for your own good. So just make sure when you do something, you really feel like this is what I'm doing and this is what I want to put out there.
Also, I think that there's so much energy out there, especially with all the shifts that have been going on.
It's
something that calls it, you know, it basically can mimic.
Yeah.
So I feel that that's another reason as to why they're making sure that they're telling us to really stay in this lane and stay true to who we are and what we do.
Exactly.
Because otherwise it can go not so well.
Yeah.
For people's safety, because of these energy shifts that we're still experiencing.
Right. Yeah, and it's not like it was 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, I agree.
You know, like even 10 years ago when I started learning Reiki, everyone was dabbling in all different things. Now it's like this person just does readings. You know, or like, not like me, I do readings, healings, and all this other stuff, but that's what I feel called to. Sometimes I kind of wish that I could just do one thing, but that's not what my calling is. It's not just to do one thing. But if your calling is to do just one thing,
do it.
Do it.
And perfect it.
Yeah, exactly.
And go with it. That's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Be the best that you can be at what you do.
Right.
And make it yours.
Right. Like, I actually had a student that I was teaching IET to, and all of her friends were learning Reiki for years. And she kept wanting to learn Reiki because her friends were learning Reiki. And she was like, I just never felt called to it. I never felt that I wanted to go to a class. And she never ended up doing it, but she always, like, kind of felt guilty about it.
It wasn't for her.
No, and that's what I told her. I go, I'm so glad that you said that. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you didn't do it because you stayed true to you and what you felt was good for you. So that's another thing. Don't feel guilty for not doing something either.
Absolutely.
So that was Ashtar's message. It was very intense, though, in person.
It was. And, you know, one of the things that we've been saying about the Ascension Table Tipping is that people kind of feel like they're literally sitting in a spaceship.
Yes.
Whether it be in person, in the store, or online, who are watching it from all over the place, not only here in the United States, but also internationally. They get the feeling that they are in a spaceship.
Yeah.
So there is a different energy, there's a different feeling.
Totally different energy, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then Mother Mary came back. I almost feel like she's kind of like the fluffer.
She is, yeah.
I wanted to come out and call her that. But that's kind of what I was thinking in my mind. Just to kind of make sure everything's okay, we're all good.
Yeah.
She's like the hostess with like making sure everyone's okay. They got their drinks, they got their snacks, they're good. And then we had Cerridwen. And for those of you who don't know who Cerridwen is, she's a Welsh goddess. I actually work with 5 different Welsh goddesses, and she is the goddess of who oversees seeing and divination in particular. And I've been working on a quest project for, oh God, I've been doing it forever, it seems like. I'm in my 3rd and final year of this quest project. And what this particular round of information that we were working on was actually working with her. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, and
that's cool.
Yeah, so I've been really bonding with her a lot. So she kind of came in. She wouldn't help me with my project, and she didn't.
Really?
She's like, no, you need to do it yourself.
Wow.
Thanks. So, but she definitely reinforced the need for discerning and to know who you let into your energy field. I know we had something kind of try and sneak in, just to try and test us.
Yeah,
I feel is the best way to put it.
It was definitely a little. It was like a little ET.
It wasn't scary.
Yeah, it was an ET energy that was like kind of like a nuisance. Kind of reminded me of like a goblin or something that would like tinker or tamper with your.
They can mess with you. Yeah, just because.
Or something. It was that kind of energy.
Yeah, yeah. So there is the need for discernment, and there is the need to know who you let into your energy field. And I feel like that's not only energy, but that's also people. You know? Surround yourself with who you truly feel are trustworthy. Or
are going to lift your energy.
Exactly.
Because I've been getting the message lately about cutting cords with certain energies that I grew up with. I don't really want to get too into it, but
it's understandable.
Yeah, it's like no more going to certain concerts and things like that, just because the vibration's so low and it just takes a while.
Just talking about that.
It takes a while to recover from things like that.
Absolutely. You know, and you're empathic, so am I.
Yeah.
I go to a concert and honestly I'm there 10 minutes, like I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
There's people acting stupid.
Yeah.
I'm done.
People drunk and on drugs.
All set.
Yeah, it's hard when you're doing this kind of work. You got to be very careful on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it was really empathically listen to your intuition. Empathically, how does the energy you work with make you feel? So it's trusting your instincts, trusting your gut, trusting how you interpret the energy to make the right decision. Okay, I can continue on with this. Or no, I need to change or back off from this.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
So, and then Merlin kind of came in to kind of lighten the mood again.
Yep.
Because certainly when we were working with Cerridwen, your arm stopped working.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that was just the weirdest thing that I've never seen that happen with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I can't move my arms. Any more that you're going to say? No. So that part was weird.
I think that was because I was just channeling Ashtar, and then a Celtic energy came in, and I couldn't connect it.
But that also is staying in your energy. Yeah. You know, you're not used to working with that energy.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, for me to shift from super galactic commander-in-chief to a Celtic goddess at that moment wasn't
happening.
No.
Wasn't happening. So Merlin advised that we need to connect more with nature. And I know you and Jess are out doing a lot.
Yeah. Me and Jamie are gonna go do some stuff too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So.
Yeah. So document our practice. I know Jess was talking about seeing a grimoire. So the need for us to really put pen to paper.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And really document what happens and really make our own grimoires. I hope that boosts your sale for notebooks and journals.
Yeah, right.
Because we really should be writing all of this down.
I know. And it's funny because I've actually been doing it, but I forgot about that message, so.
Yeah. So I know Sunday I'm going to be out and about taking a foraging and making mandalas.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my opportunity to be out in nature. But Merlin was talking about being out with trees.
Yeah.
Connecting with energy. Yep. Connecting with nature. That will also help the earth to be healed. And connecting with nature is so grounding for us. I think what practitioners do, we spend so much time way up here that we need that. Yeah. And I feel like that's the piece that we we forget. Like when I walked in today, I said, "Oh, you can hear the ocean." Yeah. I just want to take a moment to do that. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep.
Totally makes
Definitely
sense.
does.
So I think it's also to jump onto those opportunities to get out there and use your senses.
Yeah.
And use that downtime.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, don't take nature for granted. Like I said, I live right near the ocean, and I'm like, yeah, I take it for granted sometimes because it's right there.
So do I.
You know?
So do I. Yeah, so do
So.
I. So it's important.
There was one thing we didn't say, though, and I really need to say this.
Absolutely.
The global warming thing.
Yes.
Okay. So that was Arcturians, right? Or was that Mary Magdalene?
I believe it was Arcturian. I believe. I believe it was Arcturian. I don't think it was Mary Magdalene.
Okay. So one of the things that the table said was that, now here some of you are going to get triggered, but I've been feeling this for a long time, that global warming may not really be a thing. It may be more of a thing as a way for the government to try to control us.
It was Mary Magdalene.
Yeah,
It
of
was.
course she would. 'Cause
Sorry.
she loves to trigger people. It's a way to distract people and to bring people into kind of like a fear-based mindset about how there's nothing we can do to shift the planet unless we give the government money and more control. So, I think honestly what's happening with a lot of the weather change and that stuff, and I've been saying this for years, is the poles are shifting, the vibration is raising, and with that, a lot of destruction on the earth, and the changes are coming with the earth. So yeah, that was Mary Magdalene saying, global warming isn't what a lot of us think that it is. So you really have to really connect with your intuition to find the truth, because the media is not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you anything that they need to tell you for you to be afraid and for you to feel helpless and for you to give up your power so somebody else can quote unquote take care of you. And I think that Mary Magdalene was bringing this message forward because if we all stay in our own lane, we're going to find ways to help nature, help the earth, help humanity, and help all the animals on the planet without having to get the government so involved in everything that we do.
And there was also something with the flat earth that she confirmed.
Oh, the flat earth is a conspiracy put out by the CIA.
Oh, okay.
Because the flat earth theory, if you know anything about it, is like there's no universe. There's nothing. Like there's no moon, there's no sun,
Right.
It's just we're in like a little
Cosmos, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So that would kind of make everything else like
Kind of like the Sherman show.
Yeah,
Truman Show, sorry.
yeah. It takes away from spirituality and the soul. Like there is no soul, there is nothing. It just is kind of a lot of flat earthers believe. Then there's a lot of flat earthers that are like super Christian. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, the flat earth is another like more fear-based kind of.
That's a rabbit hole. That's another day.
Yes.
I hear you.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
Do you know the date of our next Ascension Table Tipping? I know it's in April.
It's in April. We're also going to be, the other thing I want to mention is at the retreat that is going to be happening on the 7th of April, we will be doing Ascension Table Tipping.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And then there's also going to be Ascension Table Tipping later on in that month.
Yes.
The neat part about the one at the retreat is that people are going to have the opportunity to feel what it's like during that that table tipping session in that spaceship.
Yep.
So there are still tickets available.
Yep.
So that does give you a lot of great opportunity to catch 5 amazing women who are all participating and providing a lot of great information, and this will also be part of that.
Yes.
So there's definitely going to be a lot to take away with you. It's also going to be a great community.
Yeah.
If you're new or finding the need to, because your energy is shifting, shift your energy to find new friends that are like-minded.
Right.
That's going to be a great opportunity.
I hear that all the time.
Absolutely.
I need to find more people that believe in this stuff and are in this community. And well, here you go. This is why we did the event. So people could hang out all day. It's going to be like an 8-hour day. Eat lunch together, learn together, laugh, cry, whatever's going to come out of you.
Yep.
Of learning little bits and pieces about what you feel more connected to. Like me and Tori are going to do more things that are psychic development. Jamie and Erica are going to do more things that are about empowerment and manifesting. And Danielle's going to be doing ceremony. So there is a lot of things that you can learn in little pieces to see maybe what road you want to go down more or what you feel more connected to. So you can buy the tickets right on ascensionnxt.com. And we will see y'all soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sounds good.
Good. Thank you everyone for watching our video, and we'll see you soon. Blessed be.